heads up for restaurant and franchise leaders listening. The Restaurant Franchising and Innovation Summit is coming up March 16th through the 18th in San Diego. If you want practical ideas around growth, tech, and operations, this is a great one to attend. Head to franchisinginnovation.com and use the promo code podcast for 20% off. Welcome to the Restaurant Operator Podcast. I'm Mandy Detwiler, editor of Pizza Marketplace and QSRweb, and I'm here today with Andie Smirl, Director of Franchise Sales, and Brian Simowitz, President of Houston, Texas Hot Chicken. Thanks for being with us today on the show, guys.
Thanks for having us, Andie.
Well, let's get started and jump right in. Brian, why don't you tell us about the concept?
Yeah, so Houston Hot Chicken is an unbelievable, obviously Nashville hot chicken style brand. And we have a very, very large social media following. Our founder, Edmund Barsegian, came up with the brand during COVID. Edmund is a very big social media influencer. He's also a race car driver. So he decided to start this brand during COVID in 2020, and in 2021 opened up the first location in Las Vegas, and it's been a huge hit. It's been, I think we were 3 years in a row, #1 chicken brand in Las Vegas, which is fantastic. And we started franchising about a year after they opened, and we've continued to start growing organically with our franchise and both our company stores as well.
How many units do you have now?
We have 29 currently, and we have 2 scheduled to open here towards the end of the year, first part of January. One more in Phoenix, Arizona, in Camelback, and then we have one opening in Seattle as well.
Okay. Andie, you've jumped back into the restaurant world after a time with Hand & Stone Spa. What was the specific moment, or what did you see in Houston, Texas Hot Chicken that made you realize this is the brand that will bring me back to my true passion?
Yeah. So I was with restaurants for a long time and kind of just felt the itch to go and, see a different industry and, kind of prove that I can do it there too. And Hand & Stone it's such a unique, opportunity because it's, you're hiring professionals to do all of the services. So the franchisee can ultimately be from any background. And I just really missed restaurant people. And there's a recruiter that reached out from HHC, and I had not heard of the brand. I'm in Dallas and we don't have any yet, hopefully coming soon, but kind of jumped on the social media and he said, you just check it out, please. And then Brian invited me out to Vegas and I tried the food. And I was like, this is a home run.
Wait, you also met me and it was a home run, right?
It was just Brian. Yes. The food was second. Yes. No, just the whole experience, the whole team is laser focused kind of on what the goal is. And it's to, sell a high quality product and have a great experience and grow, like he said, with our existing franchisees, but also attract new franchisees that really just, want to be part of the brand.
So HHC is described as having an electric brand energy. Yeah. Could you unpack that a little for our listeners, Brian? And what does that contagious energy look like?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, look, our brand is, we have a huge digital following. We have over 400,000, I believe, followers. And, the energy that you get from that level of social media followers that are engaging with our brand on a daily basis is unbelievable. So, and it gives us a lot of relevance with new franchisees coming in as well, because they look at it and go, man, this brand is crazy. And I'll share with you, quite honestly, we get a lot of potential franchise leads just from our social media and how big that social media footprint is right now.
So, Andie, you've joined at a pivotal time when you guys have sold almost or over 100 units. I think that's right. Yeah. What's the biggest difference in your approach to franchise growth when scaling from, say, 10 to 30 versus 30 to 100?
Yeah, I mean, like Brian said, a lot of our leads are truly organic. They are coming in because they've either tried the food or they've seen our social media, they've seen our content either on LinkedIn or Instagram, something like that. So we're really lucky that we don't really have to sell that part of it. It's already really exciting to just see the brand. So I think that we get to be pretty strategic in kind of how we decide to grow. We don't want to, just throw one restaurant across the country where our support is in Vegas. We want to be, available and ideally in the same time zone for a little while at least, where we can just kind of strategically grow to best support our franchisees. So we're pretty lucky in that, and we don't take that for granted, but we want to be really smart about who we partner with.
Right. Brian, the goal is to recruit top tier franchise operators.
Yes.
Can you give our listeners a profile of what the ideal HHC franchisee looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, we're looking for people that have owned restaurant franchises. We're looking for people that are maybe they're tapped out with their current brand and they don't have any more territory to grow and they're looking to add on to their portfolio of restaurants. Or maybe they've recently exited a franchise brand and they're looking for a new brand to grow with. Those are the types of franchisees that we're looking for. We're not looking for people that haven't owned a franchise business before, and there's a lot of hand holding there that goes along with that, obviously. We're looking for people that understand this space, understand how to grow a fast casual brand. And we're looking for franchisees. Minimum restaurants that we look for on a deal is 3. But ideally, we're looking for franchisees that want to sign up for between 5 to 10 restaurants is kind of that sweet spot for us.
Okay. Andie, in today's competitive franchise landscape, what is your lead magnet? What is the single most compelling piece of the HHC model that makes a great candidate sign with your brand over others?
Yeah, I mean, again, we have to pat our marketing team on the back. They do an incredible job of not only talking to the consumer, but also reminding them, hey guys, we franchise too. So there's already that loyalty and that following there, and just keeping up on that content. But again, we don't take it for granted how lucky we already have that. And I always tell them thank you for, driving our most leads that are coming in.
Yeah, and I'll jump onto that. I mean, franchisees, when they look at brands, they want brands that have momentum and relevance, and they want brands that have proof that the guest already loved the product. And our social media gives us that instant brand awareness and credibility. I can't tell you how many franchisees come to us that are interested in our brand. We start talking to them, and they come down here to do a discovery day with us, and they haven't even tried the food yet. But they're that interested in the brand and they can feel that energy and momentum that the brand has.
Do you think the hot chicken landscape is oversaturated?
That's a great question. I wouldn't say it's oversaturated. There's a lot of people getting into the game. And that happens anytime, look, everyone knows what happened with Dave's Hot Chicken and the sale that they had. It was a big deal. And I think it's driven a lot of people to go, wow, I want to get in the hot chicken segment. It's a hot concept right now. But not all of them have the capabilities to scale and to grow. I think there'll be a lot of regional players that want to grow. But I think, the ones that are really successful are the ones that understand how to grow and scale a brand. And that's why we've put together the team that we have to grow this brand.
Andie, you have a strong background from Fuzzy's Taco Shop. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
How does that experience change how you approach vetting a candidate? What operational questions do you ask that others might miss?
Yeah, I think it does go back to the candidate that we're trying to find. We want someone that's had experience in this footprint, restaurant ownership and franchise business. But I do try to reiterate that the restaurant business is hard. We may be only closed 2 days out of the year. We have long hours. We have drive-thrus. It's a fairly simple menu to execute, but it's still day in and day out. And then I think another thing that, Brian and the team and I talk about a lot is we're looking for the right person, and we need to understand how they're also going to recruit the right people in the 4 walls, who's going to be in there every single day. Because most of our franchisees are either franchisees of other businesses or they're going to be multi-unit. They can't be everywhere, all at the same time. So we want to understand really how they're going to recruit as well and how they're going to put the right people in the right places. So it's a big conversation of who's actually going to operate these restaurants so that you can be focused on what you need to, which is finding real estate for the next site and things like that. And then through the construction process. And we really want to understand that process too. And then support it. How can we help you find those right people too?
Brian, tell me a little bit about the culture of HHC.
Yeah, the culture is incredible, really. It started, like I said, with the fact that Edmund is a social media influencer, a race car driver. So the culture at HHC, is one of, we are very focused on driving this business forward. And everybody from the office down to our general managers to our team members in the restaurants understand what it takes to get there. So we're very focused on hospitality with our guests. What is the differentiating hospitality? When you go into a fast food restaurant or fast casual restaurant, you don't get any hospitality. You get, if you're lucky, you get an order at the counter, you sit down, you eat your food, and you go. We try to differentiate ourselves from other restaurants by having a culture that when you walk into our restaurants, number one, it appeals to a wide variety of people. It doesn't feel like a fast casual or fast food restaurant. We have incredible art on the walls. That's most of it's about racing and race car drivers and a lot of car art. There's a lot of vibrant colors in our restaurants. We have incredible lighting. Our countertops are lit from underneath when you go up to the countertop. So you feel like you're walking into a much different restaurant than a fast food or fast casual restaurant. It's really an experience. We have high quality sound systems. So we really appeal to that 18 to 35 demographic because they come in and it really hits all of your senses, from the music to the visuals to the quality of the food. And then the hospitality piece is part of our culture.
How do you make sure that all of your customers having just a great dining experience when they come in?
Yeah, what's important to us is that the manager is very visible in the front of the house. In a lot of restaurants, the manager's in the back cooking. We want the managers out front. We want them talking to our guests, getting to know the regulars. And when you come into our restaurant, one of our restaurants, that's always going to happen. You're going to have a manager come by and visit with you at the table. And that's how we ensure that that level of service stays at that level that we're looking for.
HHC has garnered many awards in its short history. How do you integrate those accolades like the Inc. 5000 and Hot Concepts into your sales presentation to provide credibility for such a young brand?
Yeah, we make sure to highlight those very early on with potential franchisees. Look, those awards, we don't take them lightly. And there's a lot of competition that we're up against to receive those awards. And we're very proud of those. And I think Andie uses them in her pitch and makes sure that she shares those early on. And we talk about them in our Discovery Day as well. Look, and we're very proud of the awards and recognitions that we received. And we're looking forward to receiving a lot more, obviously.
The menu features 7 different heat levels, including the very intense Houston, we have a problem. Now that's adorable.
It is a problem.
Is it a problem?
It is a problem.
Yeah.
Eat it, it's a problem. If you don't eat it, it's never a problem.
Yeah.
Tell me about the flavor profiles.
Yeah, that's what's that's another piece of differentiating for us. So we have everything from honey butter all the way up to what you said was a Houston, we have a problem. So if you have a family of 5 that wants to come in and 2 people don't want any spice and they like that sweet, savory, they can get the honey butter. And then if you have somebody in the family that really likes that bold spice, they might go for the liftoff. But then if they want to sign a waiver and try something really incredible, the Houston, we have a problem is there. So we do a spice challenge at every one of our openings. We have about 12 people that sit down and we do a spice challenge with the Houston, we have a problem. They have to eat 3 chicken tenders. And the first person to finish it and not drink anything for 3 minutes after they finish wins $1,000. And we do that at every single opening. So it's a lot of fun. There's usually about 200 or 300 people standing around watching the spice challenge. We bring it out in hazmat suits with gas masks on. So it's a lot of fun. And look, the cool thing is we get a lot of people that will come in and order a chicken sandwich and fries and a soft drink, but then they'll order 1 Houston, we have a problem tender just because they want to try it.
Sounds very spicy. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, my go-to is about medium. I don't go much higher than that. But
right.
Yeah.
Brian, you've mentioned the best-in-class support. Could you walk us through the initial onboarding process for a new franchisee? What's the one element of HHC's support that truly sets it apart?
Yeah, that's a great question. So look, we start with obviously our Discovery Day, that they come in and they learn about the brand. And what most brands stop at from there is they sign the franchise agreement and then they're in the system and they're kind of on their own. We're very, very engaged with the franchisee, even all the way through opening and after opening as well. One of the things that we do once the franchisee comes to Discovery Day, when they get ready they've got permits, they're about to break ground, we bring them back into Las Vegas for what we call project planning. So Discovery Day I'd say it's the 10,000-foot flyby, right? And you get a high-level overview of the support that we provide. When they get ready to break ground, we bring them back in for what we call project planning. And that's a deep dive into every single discipline and how we're going to support them through their journey as franchisees. I think that's a critical piece that a lot of companies miss. And they miss that critical step of making sure they understand exactly what's going to happen over the next 12 months as they work to get this restaurant open. In addition to that, it's funny is we get a lot of franchisees in that have other brands, and they'll say, we'll get an email from them and say, hey, can I set up a call with you in 2 days? Are you available? We're not that brand. Pick up the phone and call us. Any one of our leadership team are going to answer the phone 24/7. We're available to you. But we've brought in an incredible leadership team that runs all the different disciplines from ops, training, marketing, construction, and development. And then the beauty of our partnership with Savory is that we have a whole suite of services from Savory that we can draw on for additional support. So I think the support that we provide our franchisees is unparalleled to what a lot of people get in most brands.
That was my next question. HHC secured a partnership with Savory Fund in 2023. For our audience interested in franchise finance, how has that partnership changed the momentum and the resources available for your franchise growth efforts?
Yeah, it's a major advantage for us. Obviously, they provide capital. They also provide expertise. So Savory Fund is not your typical private equity company. They have a whole suite of services. So we have access to decades of experience of people that know how to scale restaurant brands. They've done it over and over. So that combination of capital and those people with the decades of experience scaling brands really allows us to support a national franchise system at a much earlier stage than most emerging brands could.
Andie, you have experience helping a brand expand from a regional favorite to a major player. What key lessons did you learn about market selection? Where is HHC targeting next, and why?
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to the strategy and the ability to be a little picky about who we partner with. Like I said, we're not going to throw one just out there. We've got a couple markets that people are interested in right now that their schedules are going to kind of align perfectly to build brand awareness, kind of cohesively, where we can spend our marketing dollars in the best way to really drive that brand awareness and to drive that support so that we can be in that market more often and, really, really just support them that way. And I think a lot of brands, they partner with who's coming to the table and who's willing to sign up, and that's just not going to be us. So.
Yeah, I'll add to that too. I think, real estate matters far more than raw population size. It really is the most critical factor. And we look for, lifestyle patterns with strong daytime traffic, dense residential areas, and people that are loyal to bold flavors with strong food cultures and affinity for, trying new brands. So those are kind of our target markets for population growth. And the great thing about our brand, because of our small menu size and how easy it is for us from a supply chain perspective, we can grow all over the United States pretty quickly with our supply chain needs.
This is a question for both of you. If you had a piece of advice to give to someone who was interested in leaving corporate America and maybe getting into their first restaurant franchise, what would you tell them?
You want me to take that first, Andie?
Yeah, please.
I tell them to stay in corporate America. Honestly, look,
Yeah.
I'm being facetious. I would probably encourage them to stay in corporate America unless they had a significant background in restaurants and understood, somebody that maybe has been a VP of operations for a large restaurant company that wanted to get out of corporate America. But, if you were the CFO of a large, retail organization, I would say go find a seasoned restaurant operator that you want to partner with and figure out how you guys can work together to become franchisees, because doing it without the experience of having been involved in a restaurant brand is really difficult. And the success rate is obviously very low for those people that have tried it. So I would say it's very important to partner with somebody that has the experience.
Yeah, I'll echo that. My first response is when candidates call and they want to make that big change. They want to own something for themselves, and they're like, "I love to cook at home." I'm like, "That's all great and fun, but I would encourage the partnership as well. Just again, finding that person that is going to be in there day in day out and really understands what it takes."
So, I guess my last question is for those listening who are ready to learn more, what's the best first step to reach out?
Yeah, best first step is type in hhc.oo. That brings you right to our landing page, and there's a franchise application on there. You can also reach out to Andie and I on LinkedIn. We both respond pretty quickly. So anyone that's interested, we'd love to talk to them.
Great. Well, that'll do it for this episode of the Restaurant Operator Podcast. Thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, thank
Thanks
you.
for having us, Mandy. We really had fun.
That'll do it for this episode, and we'll catch you next time.